In segment 1, we heard Dave Beach talk about his journey of addiction.
I've been through 7 rehabs, been to 2 psych wards, psychologists, psychiatrists, psych meds. There's probably $250,000 wrapped up in my ass in trying to figure this out.
In segment 2, we're going to explore faith.
Faith was kind of non-existent in my life. I was my faith, and my world was coming in on me.
Joy.
Just something that's in my mind and I just want to create it. That is the total joy of just, I don't even have a measuring tape in my hand sometimes. I'm just flying through steel and I'm cutting stuff and there's sparks flying and we're weld and then I'll rip something off and change it. But the designs come out so cool because there was no drawing, no limits, no analyzing. It just happened.
In the change that comes with recovery.
And that's just like this true high. And there's no drugs or alcohol involved. It's just life good.
Welcome back to Art for Recovery.
I was going to an organization, on a regular basis to just surround myself with people that made sense out of life with no addiction, alcohol, that kind of thing. They just seemed happy. So at that point, I'm sober, I'm a few years into this big change in life, back to the corporate world. Things are good. And I meet another person that I want to, be a partner in life with. She has kids, I have kids. So I buy this 16-acre property. The only way I can afford it is to heat with wood, so I'm cutting down all these trees on weekends. I'm back in the corporate world. I got 10 managers under me, 80-some guys on 3 shifts, production pushes, thinking I can do all this, and it just became this huge pressure point. So the property, it's going. The job, it's going. The relationship, it's going. I'm 8.5 years sober at this point, and I choose to go back to something that wrecked my life. My family's just, oh my God, he's got 8.5 years sober. He was back in the corporate world. He had his shit together, and look at this. He's a train wreck. He's going to the courthouse weekly. It was just total carnage again. It's like, how can this be? The guy was 8.5 years sober. So that's what a relapse is. What really happened in the bigger picture over about a 3-year time span was the 12-step recovery that I was doing wasn't kind of at the forefront. If you don't keep that as the most high priority in your life, whatever you put in front of it, you're going to lose. There's always something bigger, and I learned this through the 12-step program. As crazy as I can be, as talented as I can be, as intelligent as I can be be a total freaking idiot, when I try and play the higher role. Influence in my life from early on was a grandfather that you would find him sitting in his chair reading, scripture. Very humble, quiet man, never judging people, never a cross word. Whenever I got into 12 steps, I started hearing things about finding a higher power. I thought about my grandfather a lot and the scripture he read, and it started to become a little more real. Step 3 was about making a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understood him, which is a monumental thing for a mind like mine. Part of that came from just the people in the rooms. The concept of God could be a little tall for me. I kind of became my own God most of my life and pushed things and decided I had the direction, my will. They were there to be able to give me answers and to help me unwind myself. Been to psychologists, psychiatrists, been on psych meds, been to the psych ward. There's probably $250,000 wrapped up in my ass in trying to figure this out. And really what works is $1 in the basket of this place that I go that brings me back to good. Step 7 is the step that separates the men from the boys. Humbly ask them to remove our shortcomings. That's a tall order. You say you're going to do this, but have you fully trusted? If I'm worried over something in my family, whether it's health, sickness, money, whatever, if I continue worrying after I turn it over to them, I just didn't. This is a lifelong thing. It is like cancer. Now my chemo is going to that 12-step program. If I don't realize I need the chemo every week, I'm going to die of the cancer. I can't forget that I need that understanding of what I have inside me. And if I turn that switch back on, I'm gone.
Often people don't want to talk about recovery. In fact, they'll think it's sad, even depressing. The truth is,
it was a gift, that I was given. I'm now able to at least realize it's all going to work out. The sky's not going to crash today. There was a lot of joy in being able to see what I could make and then present to somebody else. It's a miserable life if you're used to drinking and you just quit drinking and you don't change anything. And I tried that for a year. I quit for 364 days. 365th, I was ready to drink again. I paid my penance. But I was kind of miserable that year. I didn't do anything to change me. All I did was remove some alcohol. Well, now what? Art was a major factor for me in trying to settle my mind whenever I was first trying to get sober. Art gave me that baseline of focus and also a way to express. And in 12 steps, what I learned about the process of life was trying not to force things, the square peg in the round hole. My art can't be forced that way. The best thing I can do is put metal in my hand and just let it start happening. So there's a piece that I made. It was a very meaningful piece for me, a crown of thorns with a cross and a set of angel wings. And people that bought it, like 6 months after they bought it, installed it, put it in their home, showed me the picture, they'll just send it back to me and say, this just means so much. It's a moving piece, it really is. In spite of myself, I was changing. If I can make a difference for somebody else like others did for me, then I'm doing something right. This is a process. Just stay the course.